Hi everyone, I am Jebasingh, the director of Officers IAS Academy. Now in Officers IAS Academy, I teach economy subject for the general studies. So I'll be dealing the UPSC previous year questions. For now today I am going to talk about the 2016 questions. I have already discussed the 2015 questions. Now today I will be talking about the 2016 questions and subsequently I will also be discussing the 2017, 18, 19 economy questions. Okay. So let us start with what are the questions which has come in the prelims paper from economy in the year 2016. Now the first question is, which of the following are included in the capital budget of the government of India? And they are giving choices 1 only, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now before we read the questions, first we have to understand what is this capital budget, what is revenue budget. Now always you remember your mother. Whenever this word capital revenue, first thing you have to remember is your mother. Now when your mother says, whenever you receive money, if she is happy, okay, whenever you get money, if she is happy, then it is revenue. Means when you get salary, you don't need to repay. Yes or no? So then that is a revenue receipt. Okay. On the other hand, wait a minute, I'll use the thing. So for revenue, receipt is very good. Receipt means you are receiving. So revenue receipt is very good, positive. Your salary. Capital receipt, say in case if you get loan, whether your mom will be happy, what she'll say, "Arey, useless fellow, what you are doing, it will become a problem later." So capital receipt is bad, is negative. Okay. On the other hand, revenue expenditure is bad. Say for example, day-to-day expense. Revenue expense is nothing but day-to-day. Say for example, you are spending on movies. Whether your mother will be happy going for entertainment, movies, what she'll say, "Hey, useless, why you are not wasting time, unnecessarily money you are spending." On the other hand, if you say, "Mom, I bought a land, I bought a flat," what she'll say, "Oh, good, you are doing good," because you'll get a return on investment. So the capital receipt was negative. On the other hand, capital expenditure is positive and revenue expenditure is definitely negative because it is day to day. Now from the government angle, the same concept, like what your mother feels, the same concept you apply. Whenever it is revenue receipt, government will be happy. Why? You don't need to. What are the revenue receipt? All tax, GST, okay, corporate tax, income tax. Government need not repay. So these are all revenue receipts which are positive for the government. What are the capital receipts? Loan. That is the main thing. Okay. So that is very bad. However, there is one non-debt capital receipt will be there. There are two types of receipts. One is non-debt capital receipts. Like say government is disinvesting. They are selling some stakes of BHEL. Okay, or they are recovering loan. Say they have given some loan to say Bangladesh, given loan to Afghanistan. They are recovering loan. No, that isn't all. Nothing to worry because it's not creating debt. Okay, it is not creating a loan liability. So that is non-debt capital receipt. On the other hand, borrowing. So this borrowing is nothing but, you would have studied, that is nothing but the fiscal deficit. That borrowing component is nothing but the fiscal deficit. Okay. Now coming back, so for the government, the revenue receipt is nothing but the taxes, which is positive, good for the government, happy because they don't need to repay because they are taxes. Then the capital receipt for the government, yes, especially this borrowing part is very much negative. That is the fiscal deficit part. So that is negative. Capital expenditure. If a government spends on infrastructure, roads, airports, it is going to get a return on investment. So that is positive. On the other hand, revenue expenditure, like your mom scolded you when you go for this entertainment movies and all. Similarly, the revenue expenditure for the government is day-to-day running of the government. What is that? Say salary for government employees, subsidies, interest payment on loans, whatever loans they have taken, they have to keep paying interest. So that and all will come under revenue expenditure, which is negative. Okay. Now, you know what is capital, what is revenue. Now let us go back to the question. They are asking which of the following are included in the capital budget of the government of India. Okay. First is expenditure on acquisition of assets like road building machinery. Yes, definitely that is a capital expenditure. Definitely it is positive for us, okay, that we know. But anyhow, they are asking whether it is positive or negative, that is not there in the question. What they are asking, whether it is included in the capital budget or no. Yes, expenditure on acquisition of assets like roads. Loans received from foreign government, yes, that is also there. So immediately what I will do is, if in case if I am appearing in the exam, if two choices I know, even third choice, first I will see whether there is a possibility. First choice is there, na? So automatically only these three can be there. Yes, because B is ruled out. Yes or no? Because first choice I am 100% sure. Now second choice, loans received from foreign governments, that is capital only. Okay. What is revenue? That taxes, right? Here loans, capital budget. So 1 and 2, where all 1 and 2 is there? Yes, 1 and 2 is not here. So this is ruled out. This is ruled out. So only D. Yes or no? So without even reading the third statement, we have arrived at a question. So when we are racing against time in prelims, yes, this will help us. Anyhow, let us see the third point also. Loans and advances granted to the states as well as union territories. So there is loans and advances granted. Loans and advances given to states also capital expenditure. Why capital expenditure is good or bad? Good only. Why? They will get interest from the states and union territories. So this is also there. So answer is D for Delhi. 1, 2, 3 is the answer for this question. Okay. So let us move on to the next question. So before moving on, again I want to tell you, see, there are two sides, revenue, capital. Okay. Revenue is day to day, capital is which has a long term liability. Okay. Now let us go on to the next question. What is the purpose or purposes of marginal cost of fund based lending rate announced by RBI? Okay. This MCLR concept was announced in 2016. So that's why they have asked this question last year. Now, what is this MCLR? Before that, there was a concept called base rate. Now, that was done in 2009. Okay. Now, till 2009, what banks used to do is, they can give loan at any interest rate to anyone. Say, if Ambani walks in, okay, then they may give it at 5%, 6%. Whereas some farmer comes, they may have to give it 12, 14%. And the banker, see, banker is not the owner, he will be one manager, okay, or AGM. So, if some big industries come, he may give at a very less interest rate, even lesser than the borrowing rate also. Okay, because anyhow he is not losing. The bank, he is not the owner, no. So there is a scope for cheating there. So what RBI thought is, one Deepak Mohanty committee was appointed to bring transparency in the system. So this Deepak Mohanty committee recommended a concept called base rate. Okay, they recommended a concept called base rate. What is this base rate? All banks, all scheduled commercial banks have to declare what is their base rate, below which they cannot lend to any customer. Okay. Now, SBI can declare its own base rate. Say Punjab National Bank can declare its own base rate. ICICI can declare its own base rate. Base rate is not decided by RBI. Who decides that? The bank only. But the bank should publicly notify it. Boss, this is my base rate. Then when we walk in, let us assume the base rate for SBI is 8%. when we walk in as a customer, then we will be very sure that whether Ambani walks in or Adani walks in or Tata walks in, the bank will not give lesser than base rate. That is assured. Second thing, we also know, boss, this is the base rate means, then if they are telling, oh, for housing loan you want, okay, base rate plus 2%. Now 8 plus 2 is, if assuming base rate is 8%, base rate plus 2% means 10% I will get. So I will think, why base rate plus 2%? Okay, let me think, I will go and talk to ICICI. If they are going to give, their base rate may be 7.5% and they are going to give it at base rate plus 1.5%, still it will be easier for me because I will be borrowing at base rate plus 1.5%, assuming base rate is 7.5% means I will get at 9%. Are you understanding? So the customer also knows now there is a transparency. So to bring this transparency only, Deepak Mahanti committee recommended and RBI told all banks, you declare your own base rate, but you should declare it publicly. Now 2009, this concept came. However, there are some exceptions to base rate. Okay, one is banks, when they give loan to their own employees, okay, if they go to encourage their employees, to motivate their employees, they can give loan lesser than base rate, okay, because there is no cheating here. Say when we work in railways, I was earlier in railways, IRTS. At that time, railway passes used to be given. Now to encourage, okay, there is no cheating, to encourage free railway passes. Similarly, banks, to motivate their employees, they can give loan at lesser than base rate. That is one exemption. Second is, when say I am putting one fixed deposit, okay, for 1 lakh rupee in say SBI, suddenly I need money. Now I cannot withdraw from ATM because it's a fixed deposit, okay. So what I will do? I will go to the bank. The bank will say, sir, I want to withdraw, I want to break the FD. So the bank may say, why you are breaking the FD? I will give loan. So how much loan, sir? I need around 90,000. Okay, up to 90% I am ready to give, boss, no problem. And for this, they can give lesser than base rate, because which money they are giving? Actually, my deposit 1 lakh is there. Against it, they can give even 90,000 loan, which can be lesser than base rate. There is no cheating here. Any of my money is there, against it they are giving. And the third exemption for base rate is differential rate of interest. They call it as DRI. For the poor people, okay, someone wants to come up in life. For them, you cannot charge very high interest rate. For them, yes, they can give it at a lesser than base rate. Okay. So this concept was going on from 2009. However, one problem started. Now, you all know, whenever there is too much recession in the economy, the current situation in the economy is recession, dullness. So what RBI will do? RBI will reduce CRR, reduce repo rate, reduce SLR, yes or no, all these things they do. Now, when RBI reduces repo rate, what is the expectation of RBI? RBI expects that all scheduled commercial banks should reduce their base rate, means the interest rate which they give loan to customers. But what banks were doing is, banks were not passing it on to the customers. RBI would have reduced the repo rate by 1%, but banks used to keep quiet. They will not reduce the interest rate to the customers. Then this RBI's injection, what injection it is? Monetary tool. Okay, this is a monetary tool. Whenever RBI does something, that is called as monetary tool. Whenever government does it, it is called fiscal tool. Now it is monetary tool because RBI has reduced the repo rate. Now that monetary tool, that injection is supposed to cure the recession in the economy. Because when they reduce the interest rate, when all banks reduce the interest rate, what happens? People will borrow more. Once people borrow more, they'll using that, they'll spend more. One, they'll buy bikes, cars, they'll build houses, housing loan, everything they'll get because the interest rate is less. Then housing industry will pick up because brick people are buying bricks, people are buying cement, people are buying bikes, so bike industry will pick up. So the expectation of RBI is, whenever I reduce the repo rate, then banks should reduce their base rate. But banks were not doing this. Then RBI thought, okay, this I will not allow. So they introduced a concept called MCLR in the year 2016. Now what in MCLR, what is the thing RBI has done? RBI has simply given one formula, telling that, boss, this formula you like base rate, each bank can come out with their own MCLR rate. Okay, marginal cost of lending rate, whatever you can. SBI can come out with one rate, ICICI, PNB, each one can come. But this MCLR, when you calculate, use this formula, and in that formula they have put repo rate also. Okay, so whenever RBI reduces repo rate, automatically these banks in turn, when they declare the MCLR, when RBI reduces repo, automatically the MCLR rate will also come down. So naturally it will be passed on to the customers, yes or no? So it will help the customers also, yes or no? So now let us start with the question, what is the or are the purposes of marginal cost of fund based lending rates announced by RBI? These guidelines help improve the transparency in the methodology followed by banks for determining the interest rate on advances. Yes, already base rate also brought in the transparency, and MCLR is just one advancement of base rate. Okay, what it has done? It has included in that formula one repo also, right? So this is okay, one is there. So if one is there, immediately I know, then either this should be the answer or both 1 and 2 should be the answer. Definitely neither 1 nor 2 is not the answer, because 1 is sure. Now let me go to the second. These guidelines help ensure availability of bank credit at interest rates which are fair to the borrowers as well as banks. Yes, definitely borrowers are gaining and even banks are not losing. RBI reduce the repo rate means banks can borrow at a lesser interest rate from RBI. So banks are also not losing. So 2 is also there. So since 2 is also there, then this cannot be there, and so both 1 and 2 only the choice. So option is C for Calcutta. For the second question, answer is C for Calcutta. Then let's move on to the third question. The establishment of payment banks is being allowed in India to promote financial inclusion. Okay, now what is financial inclusion? Okay, including as many people as possible into the financial network, whoever was left out because they are all in faraway places. They don't have, because bank cannot be opened in every place, in rural areas, small villages. So if you want to extend some scheme so that they come into banking network, that is called as financial inclusion. You are including everyone in the financial network. Now one Swabhiman scheme you could have studied. Now that is and all is a financial inclusion, right? Now let us see. Even priority sector lending is a financial inclusion. Priority sector lending means farmers, okay, MSMEs, they are all getting loan. So financial inclusion scheme. Okay, now let's come to this question. The establishment of payment banks is being allowed in India to promote financial inclusion. Okay, that they have given as a statement. Which of the following statement is are correct in this context? So what you have to know about payment bank? See, RBI first formed the scheduled commercial banks. They gave license. Later, they brought in 2 things. One is called payment bank, another is small finance bank. Now, small finance bank is like a scheduled commercial bank only. There's a smaller finance bank, okay, small finance bank. On the other hand, payment banks was only for, they can only be used for, means payment banks cannot give loan, always remember. They can only, you can use debit cards, okay, you have to deposit and that money only you can withdraw. You cannot get loan from payment banks. Now, why this payment bank was used? Especially, say, migrant workers are there. Now, these migrant workers, if they want to transfer money, say someone is working in, say, Bombay, that person's hometown is one home village, maybe in Bengal or Bihar, remote area. Now, his wife and children will be staying there in the village, but this migrant laborer will be working in Mumbai or Bombay. Now, from there he has to send means, now every month he has to send whatever he earns. Now, to facilitate such things, Now he can use this payment bank, yes or no? So keeping that in mind, they started this payment bank which can be used by mobile telephone like Airtel. Now his wife will also have one Airtel connection, he can also have Airtel. So from there itself he can transfer. Okay. So mobile telephone companies and supermarket chains, yes, answer 1 is this is correct choice. Okay. Payment banks can issue both credit cards and debit cards. No boss, credit card, I told you credit not allowed. Okay. Only debit card. Payment banks cannot give loan. Credit card is a loan only, yes or no? For 45 days you are borrowing using that card, right? So if 2 is not there, immediately I will come to my thing. This is there, 1 and 2, so this cannot be answered, this cannot be answered, this cannot be answered. Even without reading the third statement, I have arrived the answer as B, Bombay. Anyhow, let us read the third statement. Payment banks cannot undertake lending activities. Quite obvious, as I already told you. So answer for the third question is B for Bombay. Now let us move on to the next question, fourth question. The term core banking solution is sometimes seen in the news. Which of the following statements best describe this term? Now this core banking, now first of all, when I was and all, say small, young, too young, at that time I used to go with my mother to the bank. Okay. At that time, see, my mother used to have an account with State Bank of India. We were from Villivakam, one branch used to be there. That branch alone, we can withdraw our money. If she wants to withdraw from, say, Annanagar, no, only that Villivakam branch only, her savings account is where? In Villivakam branch. Then she can withdraw only from that branch. Why? Because Annanagar branch will not know whether my mother's saving amount is 20,000 or 30,000. Only that mother bank. Mother bank means whichever branch she has account, only they will have that data. So they will say, oh, you have 30,000 in account. Okay, you want to withdraw 20,000. Okay, you take. It is. But in case we want 40,000, they will say, no. Your savings itself 30,000 only. You cannot withdraw 40,000. Now, this was there at that time. Okay. Later, what happened is, gradually this core banking concept started. Now, it will help the customers. If you want, you can withdraw from any bank. Because all your data is come under a common pool. Okay. Now, even though you are having, say, in SBI, let us assume, but you can even withdraw from one PNB ATM, from ICICI ATM, yes or no, from Axis ATM. Now, how Axis knows whether you have that minimum balance or no? See, when you go, you are going, your account is with State Bank of India. But near your house, one Axis Bank ATM only is there. So, you are going, putting your SBI card, can you withdraw the money? Yes or no? But how Axis Bank, that ATM knows whether your SBI account has that minimum balance or whatever amount you are withdrawing, that much amount you are having in the bank or no? How does it know? Because all are interconnected. Now, one Kuber system is there. RBI has introduced KUBER. Okay, because for this core banking. So, all are interconnected, all banking things. So, it becomes easy for the customers now. You don't need to, now once upon a time, as I told you in the example, you have to go only to your branch which you have the account. Now later it was extended, any branch of the same bank. SBI means any SBI you can do. But now it has become from any bank also you can withdraw. Are you understanding? Okay. Now let us go back. Yes, the term it is networking of, now let us go, term core banking solution is sometimes seen in the news. Which are the following? It is a networking of the bank's branches which enables customers to operate their accounts from any branch of the bank on its network regardless of whether they open their accounts. Yes or no? Yes, one is there. So let us keep one. So immediately I will use my brain. One is there means this one or this one. But 2 and 3 ruled out. Now itself I am bringing down the choice to 1/3. Okay. Second, it is an effort to increase RBI's control over commercial banks through computerization. No boss. No, it is not for RBI's control. RBI has multiple controls. Okay. CRR, SLR, lot of things are there. This is core banking, is to help the customers. So 2 is not there. Now 2 is not there means immediately I'll remove this. D is not there. Okay, because two answer. So either A or C. Now my chances of is 1/2 probability I have arrived at. Okay. It is a D. This is how I used to work when I used to attend the prelims and all. Okay, as try to bring down as less, so that chances of correction being a correct answer is much higher. So now probability is 1/2. Okay, it is a detailed, so this is wrong. It is a detailed procedure by which a bank with huge non-performing asset is taken over by another bank. A totally absurd statement. So 3 is not there. So definitely answer is A for America. Okay, A for America, that is the answer. So let us move on to the next question. So it's quite a simple question only. Now let's go on to the next question. Fifth, the term base erosion and profit shifting is sometimes seen in the news in the context of. Now what is this? BEPS, base erosion and shifting. Okay. Now just let us assume I am having one, say cycle company. Okay, I am having one cycle company, officers cycle company. I have floated. Okay, and assume that I am a multinational company. I have some company in Africa, US and all, and in India also I am having. Now in India, say now let us assume I am making a profit of say 1,000 crores. Okay, 1,000 crores I am making a profit because of this cycles, Officers Cycles Limited. It has all multiple cycles like say sports cycles, also normal cycles, different cycles. Okay, children's cycle, everything. Okay, 1,000 crore profit. Now I am thinking, boss, here what is the tax here? Tax is how much? They say 28%, 26%, 25%, but actually around 30% somehow. So how much tax I have to pay? 300 crores. Okay, this is called the corporate tax because Officers Limited, Cycles Limited, 300 crore corporate company, so 300 crore. Now what I am thinking, hey boss, so much hard work, 1,000 crores, okay, profit is okay, but in that 300 crore I have to give it to government. Then I'll do an idea. I'll consult my chartered accountants. Then I'll think, okay, let us do one thing. I will put such a way that, see, for making this cycle, for manufacturing different brands of cycle, there is a research and development, yes or no? R&D is there. Now that R&D also I could have bought from someone else also, that technology and all. So I will float one company in some tax haven. Tax haven means tax heaven. Which is a heaven? Why you call one is hell, another is heaven? Heaven means very happy. Yes or no? So when it will be tax heaven or heaven? When you are very happy. When you will be very happy? If no tax or tax is very, very less. Let us assume Mauritius. Okay. Now there are different countries are there. Tax Bahamas, like that. Now such countries I am thinking Mauritius. Okay, Mauritius I am opening one company. There Officers R&D Limited. I have floated. Okay. Now what I will do is, in India only I have done all the job here and earning a profit of 1,000 crore. But what I will do is, boss, in this 1,000 crore, 900 crore is total R&D expense. Okay. R&D expense is 900 crore, boss. Lot of intellectual property, right? I brought the technology. So I have to transfer this 900 crore. Where? To Mauritius. Officers R&D Limited. Now it has gone to Mauritius. So what is the balance now then? Because it will be seen as an expense for me. It is not a profit. 1,000 crore, 900 crore, I have paid to R&D for the technology. So what is the balance? 100 crore. Now in this 100 crore, how much I will pay? 30 crore. Okay. So actually I should have paid 300 crores, but actually how much I am paying? 30 crores. How I have done? Actually I have eroded the base erosion. Are you understanding? You see, base erosion and profit shifting. right? Now, there once I take that 900 crore there it's a tax heaven. So, there I will pay, okay, 1%. Oh, 1% of 900 crore is 9 crore. So, totally my payment may be 30 crore in India plus 9 crore, 39 crores. Actually, I should have paid 300 crores. Now, isn't it India losing? Yes or no? Now, this was happening across the world. Many this Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD countries, G20 countries, now they were all losing so much money, almost 200 billion US dollars every year, because like this companies, multinational companies, what they used to do was that R&D cost, technology cost, like that they'll put some company, one fictitious company in Mauritius or Bahamas, transfer the money and balances was so less profit was in that I'll give you some tax. Almost 200 billion US dollars they were losing. So, this basically, this OECD countries only came out, no, this should not be allowed. All of us are losing. Okay, so the term base erosion and profit shifting is basically whatever I have explained. Now, let us go to the question. Is sometimes seen in the news in the context of mining operation by multinational companies in resource rich but backward areas. No, that is not the thing. It is not related to mining. Curbing of tax evasion by multinational companies. Yes or no, it is correct only. So, we can leave it also, or let us read C and D. Okay. In case if I am in the exam hall, if I am 100% sure, I may not read C and D also. Okay. If I am 100% sure about B. Okay. If I am not 100% sure, then I will read C and D, or if I am 100% sure, then immediately I will go so that I save some time. But however, now let us assume we are not 100% sure, let us go to C, because UPSC at times gives some small word which we miss out. So, better to read all statements. Okay. Exploitation of genetic resources of a country by multinational. No, this is not genetic resources, they are basically cheating through the tax. Lack of consideration of environmental costs in the planning and implementation of development project. No, this is also not environment related. So, answer is B for Bombay. This is a very simple question only. Now, let us move on to the next question. With reference to bitcoins, sometimes seen in the news, which of the following statement is are correct? Now, this bitcoins came somewhere in 2009-10. Okay. Now, what is this bitcoin? It is it is not a physical paper and all. Okay. Some software, one Japanese invented this, he came out with this. After that, what they did is gradually, how you can generate bitcoin by some puzzles will be there. Okay, some puzzles will be there. Whoever solves those puzzles, then you can mine that bitcoin. Now, you will get some bitcoins. Okay. To get a bitcoin, you have to solve a puzzle, then get a bitcoin. Okay. Now, initially it started like this. Now, companies like say which Microsoft, then like Subway, and even your say Dell, they all started accepting bitcoins. Now, they thought that this bitcoin concept may grow in a big way. The value of bitcoin may be go in a big way. Now, let us assume. Now, I am Officer Science Academy. I am running. I am thinking, boss, someone bitcoins they are talking about. Okay. Now, to get bitcoins, what I have to do? I have to go and solve the puzzle. Yes or no? Then I think, boss, solving puzzle, why it will take a lot of time for me? I will do one thing. Boss, Officer Science Academy, PCM course. Okay. Prelims comes, mains come, interview. Total, now I am going to put 10,000 bitcoins. If I say, then you are seeing this. Oh, 10,000 bitcoins. Now you will solve the puzzle. Okay. And bring, now I will accept this 10,000 bitcoins and keep it now. When bitcoin prices keeps on increasing in future, now this bitcoin value will increase. Yes or no? So, this way many companies started accepting bitcoins. Now, it's all mathematically they used to do that. Now, so which companies, as I told you, Subway, Microsoft, they all anticipated future rise of bitcoin value and they started doing. Now, I am telling 10,000 bitcoins to you to join the course. Then two things you can do. Either you can solve those puzzles generate, okay, mine bitcoins and give it as fees. Or second option is, someone would have done that, na? You can buy from them, then they will say, one bitcoin value is 10 rupees. So to get 10,000 bitcoins, then you have to 10,000 into 10, 1 lakh rupee if you pay, then they will give 10,000 bitcoins. So two way you can get this bitcoins, okay. Nowadays they say that puzzles, don't, after this session you go, don't start thinking I'll generate bitcoin, I'll solve some puzzle, because it's too complicated now, okay. They say supercomputers and all they are using, okay. So definitely with your brain or with my brain, definitely we cannot solve that much puzzles, let us leave it, okay. So now let us come back here. With reference to bitcoin, sometimes seen in the news, which of the following statement is or are correct? Bitcoins are tracked by the central banks of the country. No, 100% no, because RBI is against it. Central banks will not allow this to happen. Why? Moment it happens, their entire role will go, all will transact through bitcoins, then there is no need of scheduled commercial banks, yes or no, no need of RBI itself. So RBI is against it, or any other central bank. Even China has banned, I heard. So one is not there, okay, one is not there. So immediately my brain will say, okay, let me reduce my work, let me see whether I can eliminate something. One is not there means D is removed, A is removed, okay. Now if I am in the exam hall, now I won't read second statement at all if I am sure one is not there. One is not there means definitely answer should be now B or C. Now the B is having 2, C is having 3. Oh, I should now read only second statement. I don't need to read the third statement. Yes or no? Because B and C both have 3. Okay, now I have to read the second statement. Anyone with the Bitcoin address can send and receive bitcoins from anyone else with the Bitcoin address. Yes, bitcoins, yes, you can send it. That is how transaction happens. I have a Bitcoin, I can send it to someone else. Okay. Now say I am Dell company means I will accept that bitcoins. In fact, even the identity need not be known, they say. I will have one login ID like that one. It may not be Israel Jebasingh. Some 001232, some login ID will be my account. Someone else will be, you may be having say 123 XY, that will be. So you can send me, you may not know who I am, I may not know who is sending. Okay. So anyone with bitcoins address can send and receive bitcoins from anyone. Once I know 2 is there, definitely the answer is going to be B. Yes or no? Because 1 is not there, so we have eliminated A and D. So either it should be B or C. B, second statement 100% I am right. So I will go for B for Bombay. However, let us read the third statement also. Anyway, it is going to be right. Online payments can be sent without either side knowing the identity of the other. Already talked about it. So answer is B for Bombay, B, 2 and 3. Okay. Then the next question is, what is the purpose of government's sovereign gold bond scheme and gold monetization scheme? Now see, somewhere in 2014-15 and all, these two schemes were launched. One is called sovereign gold bond scheme, another is gold monetization scheme. Now what the government was thinking is, see, India is our country, we are obsessed with gold. In fact, I think we are the #1 importer of gold, okay. We are obsessed, we Indians are obsessed with gold. But this gold when we import, okay, we have to pay dollars and get so much. I think we are getting 900 tons, or every year we import around 900 tons of gold. Think 900 tons of gold. And it is around, I think 10 or 11 billion US dollar is going out just for buying gold. Now, whenever dollar goes out, we have to worry. Okay, whenever dollar comes in, we can be happy. Why? Government of India cannot print dollar. Yes or no? Government of India can print dollar? No. We have to earn dollar to spend dollar. Similarly, like in your house, whether you can print rupee, In case if you can print rupee, then you do not worry about expenditure at all. Just you sit in a closed room, start printing rupees, put Gandhi's, our father of nations image, then take that, go and buy whatever you want. But that is not possible. You cannot print rupee, only RBI can print rupee. Similarly, government of India can print only rupee, they cannot print dollar. But they need US dollar for importing oil from Arabia, import iPhones from say America. So for that, we have to earn dollar to spend dollar. When we can earn, how we can earn dollar? We have to export something, say basmati rice. We have to export some Tata Nano car. Something we export, we earn that dollar. Using that dollar, we can import oil from say Arabian countries. Okay. Now, but most of the dollar is going where? One for oil, importing oil, another for importing gold. Then government thought, boss, we have to do something. So they came out with these two schemes. One is called sovereign gold bond scheme, another is gold monetization scheme. Now what this sovereign gold bond scheme is, see, someone wants to buy gold. Okay, Indians are obsessed with gold. So they thought, you just buy gold bond instead of gold. Okay. Anyhow, whatever gold you buy, you are not going to put it as necklace or earrings, whatever. We are going to store it somewhere, thinking that in future it will rise. Okay. Many of our Indian middle class mindset is gold will be a good investment, future it increases its value. So what this scheme is, gold bond scheme is, instead of buying gold, buy gold bond. So what will be the price of the gold bond? Say today I want to go and buy a gold bond. Okay. Today, say 10 grams of gold, let us assume 55,000 rupees. Same 55,000 rupees, I will buy gold bond. Is it clear? Now, but that bond is a paper only. Now, 2 years, 3 years, I keep the paper, right? For keeping that paper, every year, I will earn some small interest, 2% or something. So, that paper itself is increasing its value. Then, after 2-3 years, suddenly I think I have to sell. When I sell, I will not get gold, I will get money. But at what rate? At the prevailing gold rate. After 2 years, let us assume it becomes 60,000 rupees. Instead of 55,000 rupees, 10 grams, it is 60,000 rupees. Then I will get 60,000 rupees plus, yes, 2 years means every year 2% also. Are you understanding? Now, actually I haven't physically got the gold, yes, but I got the satisfaction that I bought gold, and the same prevailing market rate I was able to sell also. Yes or no? But again the risk is, if gold rate goes down, yes, gold bond will also go down. But that is the reality. Even if you buy a real gold also, when gold rate goes down and you want to sell, you can sell it at lesser rate only. So, instead of a physical gold, the same concept is there, but through a bond. Are you understanding? Now, if this happens, automatically we don't need to import that much gold. Are you understanding? This was what was the gold bond scheme. Second is gold monetization scheme. Second thought, what they thought is, why we have to import so much gold? Okay, so many people are having gold in their houses. Now, you cannot keep gold safely in your house. Okay, so you have to go and buy a locker from the bank and you have to store it there. Second, lot of temples or big families, they all have huge gold. Now, they all feel fear. What will happen? Someone comes and steals. So, government thought, why can't we use this? Now, they told gold monetization scheme. If you want any household or temple, they can go, like you put FD, fixed deposit. So, you put in 1 lakh FD. Then later you will get 1 lakh, say 5% FD rate means 1 lakh 5,000 next year. Same concept was applied here. You go and give your gold. Banks will accept it. Then 1 year later, 2 years later, what will happen? They will give you one interest of 2%, and finally you want, no, I want my gold back. This scheme, they will give you your gold back. Are you understanding? Now you may ask, keeping that gold, what banks will do? Like FD, when you go and put FD 1 lakh rupee, what banks do? Using that 1 lakh, they give it as a loan to, say, bicycle loan, car loan, whatever loan they give, and they earn interest out of it, higher interest, and they pay you your FD interest. Same concept here, when you go and deposit your gold, that bank takes that gold, okay, and they will say you have deposited say 100 grams of gold. That gold then will be sold in the market. They'll use that money. Okay. Now gold is coming into the economy. Later 2 years later, 3 years later you ask, I want my gold back. They'll give you 100 grams of gold. Are you understanding? But not necessarily the same gold which that gold biscuit what you have kept. No, not that. They'll give you 100 grams gold. Are you understanding? But you are also earning an interest. Now what is the advantage here? If you keep it at your house, theft problem. Okay. Second, gold also will remain the same value, but here you are going to get some interest. Yes or no? Second, if you want to keep it in the bank locker, you have to pay interest, safe lock. Yes or no? Pay some money to keep it safe. Whereas here, your gold, why government is happy about it? Your gold is taking the actual needs of the economy. Whenever someone wants to, instead of now importing from, so much import cost is there, instead now this gold is all coming to public use, means people can buy, banks will sell your gold. Are you understanding? So this was the gold bond scheme, gold monetization scheme. Now let us start seeing the questions. What is the purpose or purposes of government sovereign gold bond scheme and gold monetization scheme? To bring the idle gold lying with Indian households into the economy. As I already told you, unnecessarily at home, now it can come into the economy. So one is there. So immediately what I will do, this is there, this is there, this is there, B is ruled out for me. So 1/3 chance of getting it right. Second, to promote FDI in gold and jewelry sector. Not at all. Where is the foreign direct investment? Actually, we don't want to import gold at all. Okay, means don't want to, as much as possible we have to reduce. For that reason this scheme was there. So 2 is not there. If 2 is not there, then let me see which can be the answer. Oh, 2 is not there means this is gone, D is gone. So either A or C. Now chances of getting correct answer is 1/2 now, probability. Okay. So third is to reduce India's dependence on gold imports. Yes, definitely. Okay. Definitely India's gold. That is the main reason. So answer is 1 and 3. C for Calcutta. Is it clear? Then comes the next question. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana is aimed at. Okay. Now this was launched somewhere in 2014-15 for small scale things, small industries who are who can easily get some loan, small entrepreneurs like that. Okay. Somewhere when we started Officers Vice Academy in 2013-14, at that time very less students, we were in a small one house, we started with some 7 students only. Okay. Now at that time, in fact I approached one bank and got this Mudra loan. Okay. Now here this Mudra is basically for entrepreneurs who want to start up something, but when I go to bank, normally banks will not give loan. So special schemes was launched. Okay. What is the advantage of this? There is no need of collateral. Otherwise they will ask collateral, na? Or you have to do some guarantee, collateral. That collateral is not required. This is basically to help the entrepreneurs. Okay. Now up to 10 lakh rupees, different 50,000, Shishu, Kishore, like that. 3 different things are there. Up to 50,000, 50,000 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh. Maximum was 10 lakh amount. Okay. Now, what is the answer for this? Bringing the small entrepreneurs into formal financial system. Yes or no? That is the right answer. However, let us read this. Providing loan to poor farmers. I got loan. I told you this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. I am not a farmer. Okay. So, no. Providing pension to old and destitute persons. Okay. Yes, I am old only when compared to you, but not that old to get pension, and especially in 2013 I was much younger, so this is also not there. Funding the voluntary organizations involved in the promotion of skill development and employment generation. No, not this voluntary organization and all. So it's a crystal clear A for America, bringing the small entrepreneurs into formal financial system, right? And for your information, we have repaid that loan. Okay, that time itself, within 1 year itself, once we started growing, we repaid that loan. Okay. And I think this is the last question of economy which was asked in 2016. Okay. With reference to IFC Masala Bond, sometimes seen in the news, which of the following statement is correct? Now, what is this IFC Masala Bond? See, IFC is International Finance Corporation, a part of World Bank. Okay. Now, they basically wanted to especially strengthen private sector in different countries. Okay. Now, if you want to say, if Tata wants loan, Mahindra wants loan, so money should come in, finance should come. So, this International Finance Corporation used to help different countries to raise that money. So, they used to sell bonds in other countries. Say, why this word masala? India means masala, that is the name they gave. Okay. Say for example, for China they used to use the word, whenever IFC wanted to help the Chinese companies to raise money from outside, they use the word dim sum. Okay. Then Japan, for Japan, samurai bond. For China, dim sum bond. Easily it attracts. Same way for India, masala. You also know from Portuguese, ancient days, our masala is known world over. Yes or no? So, this masala bond was launched. Now, let us go to the question. The IFC Masala Bond, sometimes seen in the news, which are the statement? International Finance Corporation, which offers these bonds, is an arm of World Bank. Already I told you, it's a part of World Bank. One is there. Immediately what I will do? Then definitely neither one nor two. This answer cannot be there. Okay. Either it can be one only or both 1 and 2. So, even B for Bombay is also not there. Okay. So, I have brought down the elimination to 1 by 2. Either A or C. Right. Now, they are the rupee denominated bonds and are a source of debt financing for the public and private sector. Now, they are rupee denominated bond. That is the specialization of this masala bonds. Now, what is that rupee denominated bond? Say someone is buying, say one American investor wants to buy this masala bond. Now, what it will be denoted there? Okay, 10,000 rupee bond, if you want you can buy. It is denominated in 10,000 rupee. So, when he buys, let us assume rupees 50 is equal to $1. Then to buy, just say, let us assume is say 10,000 rupees masala bond he is buying. It is denominated in what? Rupee only. Now, say one American wants to buy this bond. Now, what he will do? He will pay, okay, let us assume 50 is equal to $1. Okay. Then he will pay, okay, $200 and get this 10,000 rupees bond. Now, this $200 will enter our economy. That money will be used for funding the private companies. Okay. They will start using. Now, when we sell, when that person sells also, he will get only at 10,000 rupees masala bond, say with a yield, say 10%, 11,000, 10% is interest, let us assume. So, he will get 11,000 rupees. Now, this 11,000 rupees at that time, what is the prevailing market rate? Rupee versus dollar. Let us assume if it is same 50 rupees is equal to $1, then he will not lose. Then what he will do? Then he will get around $50 for 10,000 rupees and for 1,000 rupees, 1,000 by 50 is how much? 1,000 by 50 is 20. So, he will get $220. Okay. But the risk for the investor is, in case rupee had depreciated from rupees 50 is equal to rupees 70, then he will lose money. Because still he will be getting only 11,000 rupees worth dollar. Okay. So, it is a rupee denominated bond. Okay. The investor will be at risk only. That is the reason they pay high interest for this masala bonds and all. They get high interest because risk is high, so returns should be high. That is why. Now, coming back, yeah, they are rupee denominated bonds and are source of debt financing for public and private sector. Even though IFC is for helping private companies, see, our RBI, what it has told us, even public sector companies, BHEL, BEL, they can also raise money. In fact, National Thermal Power Corporation, NTPC, they have also raised this money through this masala bonds. Okay. So, public sector companies also. So, answer is 2 also is there. So, immediately what I will do? So, both 1 and 2. Okay. C for Calcutta. This is the answer. So, friends, I think this is the last question. Yes or no? Yeah. means 9 questions were asked from economy in the year 2016. So, we have discussed all these things. Now, subsequently, I will be discussing about the 2017 economy questions, 18 and 19 questions. Okay. So, friends, all of you study sincerely. Okay. Your prelims is nearing, study sincerely. Thank you from Israel Jebasingh, the Director of Officers IAS Academy.